Good morning, Year 2. Hello, it's Mr. Huxley here on Tuesday, the 7th of July 2020. Hello. I was just going to give you... Hello, this is a very short video to talk to you about what you could do today on Tuesday, the 7th of July 2020. So if you've been on Google Classrooms already on Monday, so I'm going to talk to you about what you might do on the second day of the week. So you might have done these things already. If you have, great. If you haven't, then you can choose some of the things that I talk about. Up to you. Okay, so I'm going to start with maths. The maths today moves on. So there's a lot of small measurements. So far you've done lots of different measurements. So today's measurement is about temperature, measuring how to look at a thermometer to read the temperature on a thermometer. And on the video, it's quite cool because it talks about how you could take a number line like this. It might have a number line jumping up in 2s or 5s and 10s. Just a number line here jumping up in 1s. And basically it says that, imagine if you turn your number line that way, like that. That is basically what a thermometer is. A thermometer, so you're going to start from 0, going all the way up to whatever. On here is 10, but you can jump up in 2s. So it just explains how you read a thermometer to tell you the temperature. So if you're not sure what you can talk to grown-ups about, see if you can figure out the temperature. What is the temperature? What does it mean, the temperature? It's okay, very well being able to read the thermometer, but what does the temperature actually mean? And you can maybe find out, I thought maybe you could find out today's temperature, couldn't you? You could find out how warm it is today outside and things like that. Okay, so maths is all about reading thermometers and different scales. Writing. So if you did Miss French's session yesterday, number 1 session, that was all looking at super sentences. On session 2 today, you could look at different sentence types. So it talked about, we did these in year 2 when we were in. So the 4 different types of sentence types. So you've got the statement, which always ends with a full stop, which tells you about something. So you could say, Mr. Huxley is sat at his piano. Full stop. That would be the temperature. That would be a statement. The second type of sentence is a question, and that's interesting. Oh, I'm going to pause. I'm going to disappear for 10 seconds. That's my alarm telling me I should have recorded this video already. So, different types of sentences. Sentence type number 1, a statement tells you something. Mr. Huxley sat at his piano. Full stop. Type of sentence number 2 is a question. And then the spellings are all about questions. So that's interesting. We'll come back to questions later. The third type of sentence is a command. So, eat your broccoli. That's a command. That's telling you to do something. Not for breakfast, though. I'm not sure about that. Type of sentence number 4 is an exclamation. So, when you're amazed about something, which they normally finish with an exclamation mark. So, look at that beautiful sunset. So, an exclamation. Oh my gosh. So, there's some work for you to think about that. And then Miss French has given you a challenge on there to think of 3 questions. So she's taken the sentence type of a question. Can you think of 3 questions to ask your teacher? So that'd be quite good fun. You can put that down on Google Classrooms, couldn't you? And see if your teachers reply to that. So that's the writing. Now what I thought was interesting about that is the challenge on the writing, which is about doing the questions, is interesting because the spelling this week, if you saw my spelling video for yesterday, you will see we talk about these types of question words, don't we? What? So we talk about, let me come up here, confusing that way. What, which, why, when, where, how and who. So on the spelling this week, it's how to spell these question words. And I explain on the video about how these ones up here, all they here, start with a wh sound. and then this will obviously go an H sound. So it's a who and a ha 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 ha. Who, sorry, wrong way. Who and how. So those are the spellings. So that ties in with Miss French is asking you to think of questions for your teacher. So you could use some of the question words for that. But today's spelling one is, what did I say today's spelling? Well, the second session of the spelling is to use these questions that you learn in the first session and to, I did a little video of a game that you can play. Well, you can take it as you want, called Family Fortunes. It used to be a game on TV, as some of your grown-ups might know. And basically, the idea is to write some questions out yourself. Just get a piece of paper, write the questions out, and then ask your friends or your family. When we ask your family, just ask them lots of questions. So your grown-ups are going to love this activity where you have to literally just ask them lots and lots and lots of questions. But you must use the questions using one of these question words. So the idea is to write them out, make sure you're spelling those question words correctly, and then ask your grown-ups those questions. Okay. So for example, you could go to them, you could say, let's pick one. You could say where. So you could say, where did you go to school, Daddy? But you need to write out the question first so you can read it. So you can see that, and then maybe when the person answers your question, you can write the answers underneath. So big piece of paper, write the question using one of the question words, and then underneath you could write the answers, couldn't you? That's an activity you can do for that. So that's enough. That's all the main things there. I got made this the other day. What are these? So friendship bracelet. This was in the colour of Aston Villa Football Club. So that was a very kind friend made me that friendship bracelet. So the reason I'm showing you that is because today's daily challenge from Miss Kingsbury is, what is it? It's finishing the sentence. And the sentence is this. The sentence is, friendship is. And then you have to finish the sentence. So friendship is. So for me, I was going to say, I would write, friendship is somebody making me a amazing loom band. That was how I would finish that sentence. Friendship is. So, gosh, there's lots to do there. Oh, before I go, I want to say Spelling Shed. If you haven't been on Spelling Shed much, get yourself on Spelling Shed. If you can't find your login ID grown-ups, then email your teacher. Because in the top 10 at the moment in Spelling Shed, you've got lemon tree and you've got lavender. And lotus flower being that. So let's try and get all 4 Year 2 classes into the top 10 of Spelling Shed. Wouldn't that be amazing? So just on your way to Year 3, that would be perfect. Okay, have a lovely day and I'll see you whenever. Thank you, bye.